our incredible press secretary, this White House press secretary. My God, is this woman amazing?
Better you don't find.
Has anyone been more qualified or better at their job in the history of the world than Corinne Jean-Pierre?
Among the female, lesbian, women of color, press secretaries, unprecedented.
Here she is talking about this whole tech censorship collusion thing.
There was reporting in The Intercept about opportunities for the federal government to identify for social media companies different posts that contained what was perceived as misinformation about the origins of COVID, the vaccine, other things as well, such as Ukraine or the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan.
Yeah, look, I'll say this, the administration, the Biden administration remains fully committed to our mission to protect the security and resilience of our elections and safeguard election infrastructure. That includes combating disinformation. That is something that we are committed to. We work to protect that, protect Americans from disinformation that threatens the homeland, including malicious efforts spread by foreign adversaries, began before the Disinformation Governance Board was established. In fact, some of that work began before this administration. So, I want to be very clear that cross-agency work continues to this day. Don't want to get ahead of anything else. This is a Department of Homeland Security, so I would refer you to them.
So you are flagging misinformation?
I don't have anything more to add. This is a Department of Homeland Security that I refer you to.
Malice, I feel like she's like a sort of living, walking, breathing version of why you're an anarchist. That it's like anyone that gets in any of these positions of power, they just become useless parts of the machine.
I don't want to say I feel bad for her, but it's hard for me to think what I would do differently if I was her. If there's the receipts,
right? If that's your gig.
VHS, and you know that you have to get up there and spew lies. The Washington press corps, they're not all dumb. I mean, these people are smart. They sometimes ask her tough questions. I've sometimes asked myself, okay, if I was in her position, what would I do differently? And she's really up against it because thanks to social media, as opposed to, before social media, you could spew whatever lie you want. You got to just convince that one or two journalists that what you're saying or have them repeat your lie, and it's fine. But now, thanks to social media, there's receipts 24/7. If I spew one lie today, in 5 minutes, someone's gonna have the counter or the tweet of mine from 10 years ago where I said the contrary. I don't know what I would do differently in her position. She's really maybe I would have resigned, like Psaki had the sense to do.
Yeah. Viva, do you feel any sympathy for her? I mean, everyone knows she's going up there and lying about everything. That's sort of what the gig is in the first place as a White House press secretary. But she has like an extraordinary level of it because of the endless amount of lies and the fact that some of this stuff's getting exposed in real time now, which, as Malice points out, that wouldn't have happened, say, 15 years ago.
Do I feel bad for her? I feel bad for everybody, even people who don't know that they should feel bad for themselves. What really nauseates me about Jean-Pierre's particular situation is she is being exploited. Racially, gender-wise, sexual, she's being exploited. It's the ultimate act of racism, actually, to take someone and use them as a political tool so that any critique of them on the substance can be spun off as being racist, homophobic, gender, whatever. She is being abused through her race, gender identity, sexual orientation. She's being used as a political pawn by Joe Biden, a man with a history of this. That's what pisses me off about this entire story.